tall, so not the biggest barbarian, but I'm jacked.
To hair and braids. What if we put it in 2 braids and then we wrapped it around and then we gave on the flowers sticking together and then what if we did this? Oh,
May I have another drink, please?
Yes, you may. And he goes over.
Put your hands up, it's better!
No. Save your body of Constitution, saving throw. Yes, you. I'm gonna fight you.
He's sort of a. You guys know who I am, right?
Yeah.
Goggles.
You're
Dr.
Robot. Dr. Robot.
What do you do?
Take a moment to try to stop laughing.
Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing with the other one.
Why not? It worked again.
Hating on Batman.
And I don't hate Batman for the record. I hate the fandom of Batman.
Oh, cool. Okay,
That's the
that's
issue.
way more people.
It is. It's
To
a
hate.
lot like actual human beings.
Were you gonna?
You need to rub this crap off your neck and not smell like me. Or Wolf at all. Just start rubbing his neck and just getting like.
I am fairly certain it doesn't matter what I smell like at this point.
To a feline, you have wolf's piss on you.
I'm just gonna point at my feline eyes.
I have some kind of
You've just tuned in. We had the brilliant idea while we were fishing at the Dark Moon Festival.
Oh, jeez.
To do a dungeon with fishing poles equipped. Because why not? And so we drank all of the alcohol in our bags, and we equipped our fishing poles and our aquatic pets, and we went to do a dungeon.
I feel like I need to close out. So this was the end of our epic tale. What holds for next week as the heroes set sail? We may find your family, we may find where things start. All we know is to follow our hearts. So our heroes set forth to pillage and to wander in the magical continent of wonder. We have one more question. I hope to not blunder. The question for you, dear friends. Do you wonder? Thank you, guys. Indigo Connect.
Boom! Hi, everybody! Welcome. It is Tuesday night, and it is time for a little Dungeons and Dragons. Let's roll!
Wait, we're rolling for initiative already?
Alrighty, go ahead and roll initiative.
Everybody's got their dice ready. I got 4.
So sorry, you guys should always have your dice ready. That's on you.
That is what she inferred.
You're right.
Not today,
That is what was
Satan.
described.
We've got a few announcements before we get started with tonight's game. One, thank you for all of your support as an audience, as people that follow the stream and watch the stream, and for all of you that send encouraging messages and tell your friends about the show and things of that sort. So I need to start more episodes by saying thank you for every follow, for subscribe, and everything like that. So thank you so much. You can continue to communicate with us, boys.
I'm sorry, you almost dropped a die?
No, I blame this on you.
Okay, my fault.
That's right. You can continue to support and hang out with us on the Discord. You can check the schedule there. There's an inspiration channel. There's a play-by-post, which has been a little play-by-light lately, just with my schedule. But I'll get some interesting, fun stuff going on in there in a second after the stream, not during. So please come and hang out with us on the Discord. We would love to have you all there. Thank you for the subscription, Castle Entertainment. That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you. That's really sweet. So we have a Discord. Come hang out with us there. We have a merch store where you can buy cool stuff like the onesie. No, you can't buy the onesie. But the mug that Indigo has, you can buy that. There's T-shirts. There's all sorts of fun stuff. And there's some new designs that have just been uploaded. So please, the design that has been uploaded is beautiful. And whoever designed it is a wonderful, handsome, incredibly creative individual that
Stop.
had it.
Guy.
Had
Not
it.
you this time.
Yeah, I'm tired of hearing about you though.
It
So
was
please
for
go do
3
that.
seconds.
It wasn't about me.
You can also interact with the stream. You can do that via stream points located at the very bottom of your screen. The more you watch, the more you hang out with us and raid other channels with us, the more stream points you get. You'll notice that for 100,000 points, you too can become deified. That's right. Starting tonight, ladies and gentlemen, for 100,000 stream points, you are entered into the canon as a literal god of Indigo Chameleon. So
I've got a
those
ways.
20 minutes.
if you got a little bit of extra coin and you want to show some love to us using that, there's also a little online store where you can up your digital avatar. The item up for sale tonight is an answer. I'm not beating around the bush for this one. No riddles, no hiding things. It's an answer. You want to know somebody's weakness. You want to know somebody's secret past. You want to know the best way to get to a god, where a god is, how to handle something. I'm selling, for the first time ever, an answer. A straight answer from me, your good buddy Scribe, the DM. So that is up for sale, or it was until he purchased it before the stream started. Magnoth. So
Not that we're pointing any fingers.
the minute
Hey, look, it's about you.
So the
You're
minute
right. Why do you think I did it?
So the minute Magnoth left the room to go get his Red Bull, I added another one. So there's two.
I'm buying that one.
Look, you haven't even used the Cheshire Reserve yet.
I haven't
Yeah.
used any of the items I bought because I'm not that person.
But
I feel bad doing it.
But we love you for your
I've never
support.
used any of them.
Yes.
Including
So thank you all so much for all your support. Upcoming schedule for this week. It's super easy. We're not doing it. It's Thanksgiving. There's people hanging out with their families and having emotional trauma. So why provide more of that? This week we're not going to be streaming. We've got a lot of stuff going on with Thanksgiving and stuff like that. But we will be here, back once again like a renegade master. Sunday night. With a little homebrew and brew with you.
And you.
I'm Spartacus.
If I've led a good life. I should be back in the Santa shoot, too, so that should be a lot of fun. Or Santa, the big gray guy, is going to be here with his red sack.
His big sack of holding
His
now?
big red sack of holding. So come here Sunday night to see the big red sack, and we'll see you guys on Sunday. But until then, have fun. Come hang out with us on the Discord. We wish you a very happy and safe holiday. That being said, once upon a time in Wonderland, the crew went through some changes last week. There was an individual, while they were staying at the Cheshire Club, the group of adventurers had an altercation with a young girl that was walking down the stairs and emitting this cloud of what looks to be incense or smoke when she came down from the stairs. It put the group on edge, but the situation was handled when the girl or person or entity was banished back henceforth to the dimension that she was from, or the plane that she was from. When they examined the room from which this girl was from, they found upon it details of a ritual that was set forth to bring about the beginning, a new beginning, or to an ascension of sorts. There was a bit of examination on this. There was also a bit of an examination on Thoe's relationship with Enwyn. I encourage you to go back and watch the episode as some things came to life about what has been going on with Thoe. Also, several connections to the gods were cut off again. We found out that Wine in Hand had a heart-to-heart with Cheshire, and it was the first time that he had been able to really commune and talk with Cheshire as an equal, almost, on a playing field. And as Cheshire was dissipating into whatever prison or situation that he was dissipating into, Wine in Hand gave him a simple thanks for all that he had done and meant to him, and Cheshire extended his last bit of godly grace to him. And as that happened, we also realized that Mandrake has lost his smoke arm. and had to be replaced with a soulwood arm, thanks to our good friend Laurence Olivier, the Animagus. Thanks, Lawrence. Whoever created you is a sexy, handsome guy. That loves me.
Thanks.
After all this happened, the group finally transported to the mouth to begin their assault or preliminary assault or just investigation on the best way to infiltrate the bastion that is the Red Keep. All of that being said, my wonders, what would you like to do?
At this point, we are...
Just fireball. Just fireball.
What
Bad
time
joke,
of the day
Kat.
is it at this point? Is it still morning? Is it afternoon, evening?
No, I'm afraid not. After all the events that happened and all of the running around and running to Lawrence's and people examining the notes that were left upstairs, we are pushing into, I would say, early evening, late afternoon.
Are there any shrines of like gods, or are they pretty much like all eliminated?
Give me an investigation check. You're close to the mouth right now, so you're just sort of like, I love this imagery of you all sort of standing there nodding about a plan, and Grim being like, 2 seconds.
I'm out.
Yeah.
It's a 13. So probably
13. Buddy, it's tough. You've noticed lately more and more of these small shrines that used to be situated alongside the mouth and closer to a lot of the shops that would be on street corners or some even in shops as you walked in. More and more have started to disappear from this area. I would say you didn't miss the year while the majority of the group was traveling through hell on their rescue mission. But there was a push. There's about push 3/4 through the year to start narrowing things down a bit. By order, the closer you get to the keep, the area that you're in, the mouth right now, is made up of these rings that travel outward, all leading into the mouth. It represents this little small mouth that leads into the Red Keep.
Yeah.
But as you move outward, the rings have different districts to them. So the secondary ring, you might be able to find some in the Artisans district. That's where a lot of the craftsmen are. There's that weird tavern that is like sea-based, with odd like tentacles that sort of come out of the window sometimes and come back in. But none currently in the mouth.
Well, I don't want to leave the group because things got to happen.
Sure.
So Grim's just gonna go down to the ground, just put his hand on the ground, and just trace his hand, and then just trace like rabbit ears on either side of his fingers.
Sure.
And just be like, I just need you with me, Harvey. Just wherever you are, just be with me somewhere. And then that's it.
Give me percentile dice.
I wish I had those.
It's alright.
I got it. Just gotta do it on the bag.
You have a facsimile.
This is the second time I've ever had to use it.
Alright.
It's a
Ooh.
94.
94. Yeah, you know what, pal? You draw this little symbol in the ground, and it's just you trace your hand and you draw little bunny ears over it. You feel a comforting energy to you. You don't hear the voice. There's nothing that manifests, but you do feel the comforting energy surrounding you, as if Harvey was patting you on the back and as if to say, "Don't be an idiot. I'm always with you. But I'm just not with you. It's more of the royal we sort of thing."
Typical Harvey.
How close are we to the entrance of the Red Keep?
That depends on you. You would have specified this to Bo when you appeared in the area. Normally, when you take transportation out of the Cheshire Club, you transport to a small alleyway that's in between shops, which seem to be somewhat plentiful around this area as shops come and go with the wind, as new shops take their place, and there's always sort of abandoned lots and things of that sort. So that would be specified by the group as a whole. So you tell me.
Okay.
Thank you for the host, Castle Entertainment. We love you. Hard hands. It's all right. No one's staring at you
I
while
am
you.
aware
Okay. Okay.
coming up
No,
with an
that's fine.
idea.
I have a plan.
So we've identified that it's late.
Yes.
And we're in an alleyway. Would you say this alleyway has 20 feet on either side of us?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Big alley.
What are the chances?
Huge alley.
So, if we need to rest, I do have a way that we could do that until the morning.
Well, why can't we just go back into the inn?
I mean, we could go back to Cheshire, to Cheshire's Club.
I mean, we could. I mean, we could sleep here. I think we should just. If we're gonna sleep, that's probably pretty important. But we need to kind of press on.
Sure.
I'm worried that if the Cheshire is dying and we're losing him, we have had no contact with the caterpillar, and things could be even worse for him. So.
Oh, I'm all for going immediately. I
Oh.
just thought maybe
Rest first is
someone
good, but
might
then
need to.
first thing in the morning.
What time do we want to be going in? Do we want to go at night or
Sooner.
during the day?
Sooner is better. Soonest is best.
I would agree.
I think with the things that we discussed, probably the morning would make more sense for deliveries. Correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
So
just going to
we
be
need-
probably more people awake.
Well, if we get there early enough, most of the functionaries will be.
We need a cart.
We need a cart.
And
We
to
need.
talk to.
We need a cart. We need 6 barrels.
I would say 10.
So do we
Let's see.
collect those things now,
Yes.
and then press
Rest.
on first thing in the morning?
Fine.
Sure.
Works.
Okay. There's what would be the best place in the mouth if we needed to? I mean, the inn that we've stayed at before. Like, if we needed to get a cart and some wine barrels.
Bo might have all this.
Oh, you're looking at the.
Yeah, Bo's in the Cheshire Club, so he's not located in the mouth at all. The Cheshire Club is located in an extraplanar dimension, a pocket dimension that has access to these areas. Give me an investigation check. Who's looking around at this point for? We're looking for cart and barrel. Let's see.
It's a solid 18.
Is it investigation or perception?
I would allow either because I'm feeling
I got
magnanimous.
a 17.
Oh.
I'll go
Before
16.
anybody starts wandering off.
Okay.
We're where we can see it, right?
You currently are in a 20-foot by 20-foot alleyway, and she goes, "Let's look for barrels and what." So I'm assuming that you're not splitting to the winds,
No.
but that everybody's stepping out and just sort of surveying.
I mean, what we talked about at the end of last session. Can we see it?
Yes, you can see it.
Does everyone see that?
Mhm.
And he's going to point at the tree that's growing in the garden.
Before all of you, as it's starting to get dim, it's a little harder to see for those of you that don't have dark vision. But like I said, it's late afternoon, early evening, so the sun is starting to fade. Before all of you are the castle grounds, the stone archway that leads from the mouth into the castle proper. You know that the queen is a bit of a horticulturalist, and there is a beautiful garden in the back, but up front there is a sweeping entryway with beautiful sort of grounds that are taken care of meticulously with some rose bushes. But as Edwin points, he points to a large tree that's growing in the northeast section after you walk into the entryway. But all of you can see this beautiful tree growing in the grounds.
Uh-huh.
Is it?
What about it?
That's one of mine.
Huh?
Like you.
That's one of mine.
Like you came out.
Not me.
Like
It's
to
another
see.
one of mine.
It's another tree?
It is.
Has it always been here? Did you know about it?
No. That's new.
Do you know which one it is?
I don't do it.
You don't.
Okay. No.
You're welcome to get closer.
Is this something we have to save?
Or is it a
uproot?
problem for our plan?
It'll be fine. But we have to come and get it. She can't be allowed to keep it.
Did the ritual you were reading mention anything about a tree?
So how about this? I will say that as he points this out to you, and he goes, "Hey," somebody asked him the question. I don't remember who just now. "Hey, is that new?"
Yep.
Give me a nature check, Anybody that's proficient.
It's a hard no there,
I got a
Skippy.
+5, but I'm not proficient.
Actually, I'm not. How am I not
16.
proficient?
I have a negative
You're a
1.
druid. How the what?
What?
I know.
Okay, you guys continue on. Al, I'm going to private message you something, since you were the only one that was proficient. But I'm going to private message you via
Wolf
Discord.
Grin got the answer. No.
Something that you would just sort of figure out.
Oh no, I don't like that look.
Nope.
Oh, no, he hasn't sent me. I sent him
Oh.
a really preemptive meme.
Okay.
Panic
All
meme
right.
that I thought was
Oh,
really
good. Okay. Sure. Way to worry all of us.
Okay.
That's the
So,
plan.
did the ritual mention anything about a mother tree?
Did we see anything on the wall?
There was nothing listed. There was nothing listed in this ritual, and as I've said before, what you saw were the rantings of someone describing this ascension. You did not see a step one.
Okay.
Butter clarified. You know,
How large is this tree?
very
Is
large.
this like
It's
large,
bigger than a bread
large
box.
Oak size?
Animal Kingdom.
Okay, imagine like a car engine.
Okay.
You know, like the size of
Yes.
a car, way bigger than that.
Good.
So, if you say she can't be allowed to keep it, do you have suggestions on how to move a tree that large?
Oh yeah.
Okay, just
figure it out.
checking.
This takes priority, but
Got it. Okay.
Okay. As for the investigation checks for finding cart and barrels, 18 for me.
Okay. Yeah. I'd say you step out and it's you can find anything you want here in the mouth, and it's one of those areas as you sort of look around. It takes a little bit of time as you're sort of like perusing the stuff. New places show up, but sure. Down the street, you see a place called Maeve McCaffrey's Barrels and Wagon Emporium.
I mean,
it's exactly what we're looking for. It's almost.
There's a sign below it that says, "Do you need barrels? We got them. Do you need wagons? Got those too. Do you need barrels and wagons? Discount."
sweet, and it's a discount. I like this place.
I should be instantly suspicious right now.
I immediately walk in.
I'll follow.
Sure. Wine in hand heads off to Maeve McCaffrey's Wine and Barrel Emporium, and so does Thoey. The two of you walk in.
does anybody not go?
Yeah, I'm going. I need to talk to Bo about wine.
Sure. As the who is not going?
Are you going to speak to Bo?
Yep.
I will go with him.
Okay. You guys are heading back to the Cheshire Club, so you are leaving the group entirely and heading to a pocket dimension away. I'm just clarifying this.
To be fair, guys, you can get wine elsewhere.
Yeah, let's just go with them.
Yeah.
Wait.
We go to elsewhere.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we all go with them.
I'll cast telepathic bond.
No, we can all stay together. It's fine.
I can still cast telepathic
That's fine.
bond.
How long does it last?
You're not his
an
real
hour.
dad. So let him cast telepathic bond.
Lasts an hour, so.
Yeah. You feel all telepathically connected. You know, as if you've all just had a long night of drinking.
Get out my head.
Yeah. So you guys head over to Maeve McCaffrey's. Maeve McCaffrey's. As you walk in, you see a fairly bare bones establishment. Doesn't look like it's been around for too long. Scattered around the floor are various yarn balls and things of that sort. You see some shattered glasses that look like they were set on the counter and knocked down. But other than that, there is it is a wooden counter with a small bell.
Just real quick. Ding.
As you go to ring the bell, as you bring your hand up to go and ring the bell, a small cat paw will reach out from underneath the counter and just sort of swat the bell out of the way before you are able to ring it.
Cat's a jerk.
A medium-sized tabaxi, gray hair, will pop her head up, and she's like, "Hey, can I help you?"
Yes. You must be Maeve.
Yep, that's what the sign says.
Excellent. I am in need of a cart and about, let's call it 10 barrels.
We don't have any. Kidding. Look at the sign. Cart and 10 barrels.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we can do that.
Right on.
How big of a cart?
Enough to hold about 10 barrels.
That's fair. And Maeve will go, let me go check my supplies.
Okay.
And she heads into the back, and she goes,
So, real quick, who's the biggest person in the group?
I'm 6 foot, but
I'm
I'm slender.
Okay.
5.
I'm talking about like
I
who,
weigh the
like
least.
curled
The
up,
bulkiest?
curled up into a ball.
Probably Grim.
Okay, so that could fit him in it.
Okay. Maeve sticks her head out, and she's like, "Can fit that guy?"
Yeah.
Just me.
On it.
Cool.
And she comes back, and as Maeve comes out, she sets on the counter a small wagon. It's about as big as this dice box, and holds it there. And she goes, "Huh?" And then she takes 8 small barrels and puts them in there. And she goes, she kind of scoots them off to the side a little bit. She goes, "Look, he'll fit like right in the center there."
That's a little smaller than we needed.
Oh, I employ pixies. They reduce it as soon as y'all purchase it. You just bring it outside and it'll enlarge.
Oh, that's cool.
Helps me cut down on inventory space.
That makes sense.
It's wagons and barrels. How could that?
No, I mean
That's
it's
very
sensible.
clever.
It's sensible.
Do you have any barrels that are labeled wine?
Yes.
Cool.
How many you need?
All 10 of them, please.
Yes.
I thought you wanted 8.
No, 10 barrels.
10 barrels.
10 barrels labeled wine, please.
Let me get a different wagon. She walks in the back and comes out with almost an identical size wagon. It's like, well, this will work better. Writes a wine on them, and then you want wine or like really good wine?
Let's call it. Come on, I have to. Cheshire Reserve wine.
Is this a sweet idea?
I think, yeah, no.
Fine.
But I also don't think you should write really good wine because I feel like that might sound suspicious.
Got it.
Fair. You
That's-
know wine.
Yeah.
Some of the royals drink.
They wine, they
What
don't drink.
What would be the highest end wine that Wine in Hand would know about?
Give me a history check, big guy.
Sweet.
You
Okay.
are not my dude. You have not drank with royals lately, unless you have.
It's a 17.
17. Yeah, you know what? There's part of you starts laughing a little bit because you're like, you're one of the Red Keep. And you're like, why don't you write rosé on that?
Yes, absolutely. Can it be a rosé?
And you feel the small warmth that starts at your back and sort of spreads out to you as a bit of Cheshire like lights up and joyous glee. And she goes, sure. And she writes rosé on all the barrels, and she kind of holds it up. Is this good?
Awesome.
All right. Yeah. Let's see. Gosh, barrel wine. For the custom work on the labels, probably about 25 gold pieces.
25? Sure.
Great. Yeah. Yeah. 25 gold pieces. She hands you the wagon. Yeah.
Is it just going to instantly enlarge the second we walk out of the shop, or do we get to choose when it enlarges? I mean,
Which would you prefer?
well, it might be useful to be able to enlarge it when we choose, like maybe tomorrow morning.
She comes back, goes in the back, comes out with an identical looking wagon, and says, yeah, this one is adjusted to a code word. What would you like the code word to be?
So all you wait for me while you decide on this.
Maybe the name that you wrote on the barrels.
Got it.
Okay.
And she takes the wagon. She goes, the code word is rosé. She hands you back.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Of course.
If we say that code word again, will it shrink back down, or is it just a one-time thing?
If she takes it.
If you say rosé,
She said,
yes. No, it won't shrink down. It's a one-time use.
Okay, got it. Just checking.
I run a wagon emporium.
Well, no, it was worth an ask.
It was worth an ask. And
It'd be a very
Maeve,
useful
thank
thing.
you so much.
You're welcome.
This is only like this is the best present ever.
Yeah. Have fun.
Yes.
Thanks for shopping.
Thank you.
Maeve's Wagon and Barrel Emporium for all your wagon and barrel needs.
I'm so tempted to conjure wooden beings right now and be like, why aren't you guys like enlarging and reducing stuff for me?
You could certainly
It
do
was
that.
like- It's so tiny.
So next is the wine. We have
What?
the barrels in the cart.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now that one of the times you summon woodland beings, one of them is going to have a peg leg, and then you will never use the spell ever again. They're going to show up and be like, "You want us to cast Enlarge Reduce?" She's going to be like, "F off!"
Bye!
Cool. So you have your wagon, you have your barrels of rosé.
Yeah.
It is late in the evening. Where are we resting, kids?
We
The
need,
20-foot alley.
we need to fill exactly, pick up 3 of them. These 3 with wine.
I mean, technically,
Ooh.
we
Do
can
you think that
fill.
would
Yeah,
work?
no, these 3 specifically.
can
The other 2 I
fill-
can pick later.
Don't think
That would be great.
Well, you would, but I don't think it's going to work.
Or let's see, we have
Okay.
10 barrels. 4 of us are in the barrels. So technically, we need to fill 6 barrels.
Yes, but I want these 3 specifically. You guys can pick the other 3.
I see where your head's
Hmm.
at. Do you know a place where we could get some rosé
Can't be hard.
here in the mouth?
Do I have to make a deck? Because I'm
Yes,
holding it.
deck save, deck
Okay.
save, baby. You are outside and you are in that alleyway.
Oh, thank God, 26.
You go, oh shit!
Back handspring.
in the alleyway.
And just like,
Sorry, I didn't know if I said it would do it.
yeah.
Just gonna go walk. Are we still close to the shop?
Work
Sure.
great, Maeve.
Yeah.
Can we just one more outside?
You walk into the shop. There's some yarn balls spread around the place. There's a couple of glasses on the counter that look like they've been shattered, and a small bell on the counter.
Never mind.
I think as you come in, you see a little head peek up, little tabaxi head pop up. Hey, what's up?
We need 50 gold. Just one more, please.
No, this is fine.
Got it.
Thank you.
She goes in the back, comes out with an identical looking wagon, and takes some
We don't need
barrels.
2 wagons. We just need the original one.
Writes rosé on them. It says the code word's the same. Thanks for shopping Maeve's Wagon and Barrel Emporium.
Thank you.
What are we supposed to do with the other one?
In case we need an exit plan of some sort, we
We
have.
would need a second cart.
Burn one. I don't know. You're wild and fun and
It's
daring and
It's fine. It's done. By me. I made a mistake.
No,
But let's
I'm
move forward.
keeping it.
But
Yours blew up.
I'll say it. I'll say it right
Don't
now.
you dare.
Do you know where we could find some?
Some of that particular blend
that
of wine.
particular blend?
Yeah, I think I know a place. Well, I know a guy who knows the barber of another guy who owes me a favor.
This seems like a great story. Could we just go there?
Fine, follow me.
Where are you headed?
Let's see. Where's one of my favorite drinking holes?
Tell me. Let's employ I know a guy.
Oh, sweet.
So you come
Yes.
up with a bar, tavern, NPC that you know, and then you will give me a charisma check to see what your relationship is like with this
Okay.
I know a guy.
Cool. Let's see. It's the Alabaster Cask, owned by a rather gruff dwarf
All right.
named Carrick.
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 Carrick, the gruff dwarf, owns the Alabaster Cask.
And just a straight charisma check.
This is just adding your charisma.
14.
Okay. Yeah. Carrick is located in the second ring. It's where the sort of down to earth. As you get further and further away from this area, you walk for a bit of time and make your way to the second ring. Moving away from the Artisans District and into this second quarter, the second district. The second district, right now, it's early evening, but you see a lot of individuals that are setting up a little bit of a block party in the area. People, men, women of different species, are setting up little tables outside their homes. They're having, they're bringing food out, and it's this. Mentality of stone soup. Whatever you have, you bring a little bit, you put it in the pot, and we'll get. You see children running around and sort of playing with these arcane sparklers and fireworks and things of that sort. But a center of activity here in this second district is this pub called the Alabaster Cask, and the sign above it is a sort of ornery-looking seagull standing perched upon this cask of liquid, and this sign sort of is above the doorway.
Let's see. How Did I owe him gold? Nah, it's fine.
I'm going to say whoever's holding the cart probably shouldn't go in as you order.
You stay out here.
I wasn't planning on going in. Just bring the drinks back to me.
Cool.
We're probably gonna have to enlarge it to put the wine in it, so it's not gonna be. We're not gonna be enlarging this.
Well, no, but
wine
if we
anyway.
leave it out behind the establishment, he can bring it out the back entrance.
Okay.
And then we fill it up from there.
What we do with the other Actually, question.
It's a fair point.
I'm not as familiar with the spell as you might be. If we were to fill very small barrels and then enlarge them later, would the contents be enlarged?
I don't know. That's what I was saying, but I don't know if that will work or not. It's probably not worth the risk unless we test it first.
Yeah.
Fair.
But we can definitely
And I'm all for
test
testing
it.
that particular blend of wine.
I mean, we can try.
Anyway, I'm going to go see a man about some wine.
You enter into the alabaster cask, and most of the individuals in this small area have not made their way to the alabaster cask yet, as most are setting up these little small tables outside of their shops and things of that sort. But standing behind the bar, looking somewhat tall, you realize because he's standing on his
runner?
his coveted stool to make him look like tall, is a surly-looking dwarf by the name of Carrick. Carrick looks battle-hardened, scarred, and as you walk in to the door, there is a frown, which quickly turns into a smile, and the dwarf hops down off of this stool that he keeps behind the bar. And wine in hand, bring it in, boy.
Carrick!
And he gives you a big hug and cracks your lower back as he gives you a hug. What brings you here to the alabaster cask? Last I saw you, you were passed out, drunk as a skunk, and I think you were wearing guard's armor? Were you wearing guard's armor?
I had a very good reason.
What was your reason?
I forget.
What can I do for you, lad?
Looking for a particular blend.
Ooh, what kind?
Make sure Grim's out of your shot.
Yep, you're
Just
you're
lean in.
thing.
Looking for some rosé. Carrick, come on. You've got some hidden in the back.
How many times have you been here?
I smelled it on my way in.
There's a special occasion coming, and
And that's exactly why I need it.
All right, how many do you need?
6?
All right.
Okay.
Your nose is
I will settle for 3.
3 barrels of my rosé.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, it's a limited stock.
Yeah. I understand completely.
It'd be...
I can help drum up business for you.
How?
I always put on a show.
You're putting on a show tonight.
I might be persuaded.
Perfect. It's my nephew's birthday. Everyone's gathering around. We're setting up tables outside.
How old is little Nippet?
He's 27. He's a bit of a late bloomer.
That's fine.
Yeah. But we're still having a birthday for him. The whole town's coming out.
Yeah, I did notice the setup. It's nice.
Yeah, it is what it is. Times are tight for everyone.
Oh.
This is honestly just an excuse to make sure that people that don't normally have a full belly leave with food in their stomach.
Mhm.
You know, so, and if I'm doing my job right, you know, mead in their glass.
And less coin in their purse.
It's a happy byproduct, yes. All right. I think I could sell them 3 cask, 100 gold each.
100 gold each?
They're special edition.
No, of course. You give me one moment. I'm going to go ahead and procure those funds.
All right.
I'll be right back. Relax.
Sure.
You know I'm good for it.
No.
You know I will be good for it.
Yes.
Okay. While we're outside. Okay, guys, so good news. He has the thing that we need. It's going to set us back about 300 gold.
I take it out and give it to him.
Thank you. You're my new favorite. Walk back. Head back into the bar.
He's not even behind the bar yet. He's not standing on a stool, and he comes out and he's like, "This is the fastest you ever said you were going to pay me, and then actually paid me." Do you have friends?
Yes. Hard to believe, I know, but
Go figure.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's real gold.
Mm-hmm.
It's all the.
Wait. It's not chocolate. Yes, I'll get the...
That was one time.
Absolutely. I'll get the cask of rosé and bring him right out front.
Awesome. Just around the back.
Oh, yeah, around the back.
Thank you.
Yeah, and he will go and get the cask and start bringing them up and setting them outside.
Put my hat. He's going to be around the back, guys.
All right.
You should stay away from him.
I have no purpose in being in a bar right now.
I meant around back.
So can I be in the front of the bar right now?
Yes.
Yes.
Then who is staying with me?
Me.
Well, you go get me a drink.
I would, but the guy in charge of the bar is going to get us the thing.
Well, you go get me a drink.
I can't get you a drink with no money.
That's the spirit.
Tying your boots together, so help me.
After a little bit of time, Kerrick will bring the cask outside around the back, and you all load them into the cart with ease. Are we siphoning them into other barrels? Are we just loading these barrels onto the cart?
Do these barrels look identical to the other barrels?
Damn, if they don't look almost identical to these barrels. You notice that there's a bit of there's a soft color like change in the wood, but they're damn near identical.
Fairly light. Nobody's going to be able to tell the
Right.
difference.
I say we just load these up, cart this thing to a safe area.
Cool.
Rest
And
of the night.
I kind of owe Carrick a performance. It's his nephew's birthday. So, you guys go set up, do whatever. If anybody wants to help me put on a bit of a show, you're more than welcome.
I would help at a heartbeat. I just can't sing or dance or entertain people pretty much in any way whatsoever.
What kind of a show?
Well, I'm going to be doing some juggling.
I'll help.
And maybe some trick shots with these. I pull out darts that I may have purloined from the Cheshire.
Sure.
Because there has to be a dartboard at the Cheshire.
Yeah, he goes, I may have purloined these. And he looks
I may
at
have
them, and then
borrowed
there's a moment where, like, he takes the symbol of the Cheshire Club, like, off the ends of them and puts them away. But, yeah.
All right, well, I think some of us should probably keep an eye on the cart itself, so I would volunteer to go back wherever we're going to be sleeping for the night and keep an eye on the cart.
Okay, great.
And then perhaps some people can stay and be a part of this performance.
Yeah.
I was going to offer this for a place to sleep, and I'll hand her Dern's Instant Fortress. It should fit inside of the...
We've got quite a thing going on this evening with, like,
Tiny things
that become large things.
It's awesome.
Mm-hmm. You don't have to use it, but it's free and
Right.
it's safe.
Well, and we did find that 20-foot wide alley, so it seems serendipitous.
Thank you, oh gods of
That's for a
coincidence.
reason.
So what do I do to make it go?
I'm going to write you a note to tell
Okay.
you.
Just one in hand leans on the staff. Oh, really? Going to write it up this time? Okay.
OOC, what is the code word used in order to...
Oolongate.
Oolong.
I love this. I love this.
Elongate.
I love this.
Perfect.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Well, then who's going back with me to the 20-foot alley?
I will.
I've got to do some stuff.
Do some stuff. So party.
Too many people.
Party,
Going with you.
party,
Okay.
oh.
Party
With,
people.
I'm with you.
Right. No, party people. Party
Cool.
people. Okay.
Carrick it sort of comes out the front and looks at you one in hand and says, "Oh, and who's this?"
This is my new traveling companion.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank
Very
you.
handsome.
Yeah. Wait.
Hello, young man. You have made yourself very lucky to have him in your life. He's a very caring individual and...
It's not like that, Carrick.
Oh, all right. Oh, is he like... He's not speaking. Is he like an intern? He's an intern.
It's really just a bit of fun.
You're here to perform. Maybe juggle. Dancing.
Are we inside or are we outside?
You're outside.
I'm going to jump up and then land on my head on one of the nearby, like, pins.
I gotta make you roll for this.
That's fine.
Acrobatics, yeah.
18 plus 12, so that's a 30.
Oh, you're his intern. Understood. Yeah, that's wonderful. It's about time you found yourself a mentor. That's great. Yeah, I appreciate you
no
doing
worries.
this. Here, go help yourselves to the festivities. Enjoy some food and just walk. Is it real? Are you him?
You know how these people love costumes.
That's not what I asked.
Does it matter?
Yes. It matters to me. Should bring Mandrake Madigan to my pub.
Now, why on earth would I do such a thing like that?
He's wearing his hat. He's wearing the Mad Hatter's hat.
He's wearing a hat that happens to look like the Mad Hatter's hat. It wouldn't be character.
Deception check.
Dab it. Oh, okay, cool. That is a 24.
All right. Yeah. Sorry, that's
No,
my
it's
mistake.
fine. No, I completely understand.
I just. Yeah, my mistake, lad. Sorry. Everyone here is a little jumpy and. All right. Yeah, enjoy yourselves, please. Go get food. Go enjoy drink and things of that sort. So like I said, people are coming out of their homes and they're enjoying some of the food that is around the area. There's not lack for food or drink in this small area as it turns into a giant block party. More and more people as they get off of work and close up shops almost early around the mouth and some of the second district and the artisans district, more and more start to pour into this small area, and it's teeming with life. You feel like you're back in Tanoth with all the gnomes running around, and there's music playing and things of that sort. For a while there, Carrick opens the doors to the pub and just lets people wander in and out and use it to eat, but he's outside of it holding court, telling stories about how he and Wine in Hand one time convinced a Dragonborn that he was actually a goat, and
wouldn't stop eating grass for a week.
Yeah, I wouldn't stop eating grass for a whole week. A poor man threw up one time, and it looked like he threw up a whole field of dandelions. But he's just yelling at everyone, telling them all these wild stories. Give me, each of you, either give me a performance check, acrobatics, something along those lines to show your entertainment as you're amidst the party proper.
21 performance.
21 performance.
Nat 20.
Nat 20. I think the two of you take that 10 minutes of and you two both serve Cheshire. There's a connection there. So I think it's one of those conversations where you meet someone and you become fast friends with, where Wine in Hand and Mandrake sit there and they're like, all right, what if we did that and then he's like, yes, but if you did that, and then I would it, and you could do that. Oh, but if we had a chair, I got a chair. Oh, we'll use the chair and you push and you just come up with this routine. It is almost as if you've been doing this for years. You go out to the center area and you start talking and entertaining the crowd and pulling people up for volunteers and things for that sort. And it turns into just this spectacle that has the bonus side effect of clearing out the mouth. As more and more people start pouring into this district to see what the commotion is, as the sounds of cheering and applause and music seems to echo all throughout the small area. That being said, let's cut over to the other group. How are we handling this?
I am going to very carefully go all the way down the 20-foot alley as far as I can to make this as hidden as possible.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know if it dead ends or if we're kind of in the middle of it.
Okay.
But,
you tell me.
Okay. Well, I'm assuming it goes out. It's not a dead end out. Like it goes out. It's between.
Yeah, in between. Yeah, two
Okay.
streets.
So kind of towards the middle part of the alley. I'm going to very, very carefully measure right towards the center.
Okay.
Of this.
All right.
Guys, ready? We need to get the barrels and all of that kind of down the alley too a bit, so it's kind of.
Which side?
Which side?
You're about to block off, so
Yes.
you can have the barrel and the stuff set up on the side that's going towards the mouth and up towards the castle, or you can have it on the back side, so that if a guard walks by, they see this tall ass fortress, but they don't see the barrel in the cart.
Yeah, I don't want them to see the barrel.
Okay, so it's on the opposite side.
So yeah.
All right.
and
How tall is this?
30 feet. Yeah, it's 30 feet tall.
Okay.
So it should fit evenly between buildings, I would imagine.
It will.
boy, I wish I had some sort of an illusion spell. Gee, golly, that would be great.
It hits Thoe that
this place changes a lot.
that the mouth does change, and new shops are opening all the time. However, rarely does it happen instantaneous. Rarely does
It's a literal pop-up shop, guys.
Rarely does it have battlements and openings for cannons, and it is not.
Has like
It is
slits,
not
yes,
an
not
instant, cannons, or not cannons, but arrow slits.
it's
This
a
is
fortress.
not.
Yeah, it's a fortress.
The name of the item is called Instant Fortress.
Oh, wow.
And it's so cool.
Actually, give me an intelligence check, Thoe. Let's see if you would pay any attention to this, or if this would.
No.
No, it's fine.
No,
You're great.
it's
Everything's
fine.
good. You go about midway. You say the code word.
Oolongate.
I'm not yet.
Like, yeah, it just rises up. It rises up from the ground, elongating, and before you is this beautiful instant fortress that stands, that towers above the two buildings next to it by a good 10 feet, I think, rising up into the sky. But there is an entrance available to you all with, I believe, barracks and things of that sort. There's no library or anything along those lines, but there are comfortable places to sleep and things of that sort.
Grim's going in.
Okay. Yeah, Grim. Bare bones battlement. You know what I mean? But it looks sturdy as hell.
Nice.
Mind you, your days in the station.
He's gonna find himself with whatever. If there's like a fireplace and like a chair, decanter, and he's just gonna sit.
No, it's not. So
Or a bed
the
to sit on or something.
there's cots and things like that. I will grant that. It's not like a magically enforced like room or building or like
No,
hotel
sure,
or stuff like that. But yeah, there's a comfortable place for you to sort of rest your back and just sort of zone out. And, yeah.
I'm gonna go into kind of a corner and start transferring non-detection into my spell book.
Understood.
Book.
Yes, thank you. Deduct the gold that we talked about. As I will say, with the understood shopping of that, you gather the prerequisite inks and fine paper that you need to add to your spell book, but you will take the time to start adding non-detection as a spell in your spell book. Yeah. All right. Cool. Enwin.
Once it's fully settled, he's gonna walk up to it and then just put one foot on the wall and just walk directly up to the top.
Above, like your the ceiling of this thing, like your yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna just sit on top on the roof.
Sure. Give me a perception check as you make it to the very tip top.
24.
24. Hang on. Cool.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and head inside because I'm planning on spending some time before I sleep, really thinking about the spells that I have on hand and what might serve me better in the coming day.
Sure. You take a little bit of time to do something you haven't done for a while. You to commune with nature and take some time to be like reassess. Like, hey man, what the hell am I doing with my life? And
I've been spending a lot of time carrying around a sunlight spell. I don't know why. I think it's becoming less important.
Oh my god, this is the equivalent
It's
of
not like
like
I've used it.
burning an ex-boyfriend's sweater. Yeah, you get rid of the sunlight spell. And like, like I never liked this sweater. And you get rid of sunlight spell.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a little bit of switching around.
The party carries on into the night. As long as you wish to stay, there's something to be said about the power of fellowship. You find yourself surrounded by life and laughter and the chaos that can only be found when people share stories and break bread and there is a kinship and energy that is found therein. You feel recharged being surrounded by this sort of energy that gives you life. It's the whole reason that you decided to follow Cheshire in the first place. There's a magic at the table. But you spend the evening entertaining folks. I think even Mandrake feels empowered by the small children that run up to him and they're like, again, again, again. And you throw the teacup into the air, you flip it, you catch it with your foot, and then flip it up in the air, and then catch it again, and have a sip, and they all just, like freak out.
Okay.
Carrick, it's been a delight. Thank you for letting us have some fun with you.
Oh, you're leaving so soon. Are we leaving?
No.
You're just so good. My nephew is just garbage.
No.
He made his birthday lovely.
Oh,
You
come
made
on.
it
I'm going to
so
use his beard to dry his tears a little bit.
Yeah, you take the beard and pat his eyes. He's like, I love it when you do that. The beard tastes like soap. It's so nice.
You take care of yourself, Carrick.
Yeah, and Carrick gives you a big hug, and he cracks that lower vertebrae and goes to give you a hug too. I bring it in.
I'll bring
It doesn't matter to me if you are in. We could use a little more of that. Your great grandfather, he made some decisions he did, but he always looked out for little guys. He always did. I hope you're like him.
I do my best.
And he'll give you a hug. He's alright. Enough of this sappy stuff. Let me tell you all about the time that I beat an orc in arm wrestling. He was 7, 8, 9 feet tall. And he just goes off and off.
And away we go.
The two of you don't have any trouble finding the alleyway where this group is staying.
I was like, look up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's real subtle.
You're like, that's new.
I look over at Mandrick, point up. Oh, that's subtle.
Yeah.
Have I ever acted in subtlety?
This is true.
I imagine all of you rest for the evening. As Enwin's like, hello there.
I would go up to the roof as well.
As you go up to the roof, Enwin is sitting up there, bird on his shoulder, and just sort of like looking over at you.
I'll stay on this side, you can stay on that side.
In true Odd Couple fashion. There is a line of chalk that's drawn through. And in the morning, both of you are the neat freaks, so both sides are the wine in hand. You just go to rest?
Yep. I'm going inside and just enjoying the fact that I brought a little bit of joy to these people's lives and then pass the heck out.
Yes, absolutely. You have found favor with your god, and because of it, you have a surge on the wild magic table.
Oh, sweet!
You can choose to either employ it for yourself or for an enemy, but you will not know whether it is
it's weal or woe until
weal
after.
or woe until you so choose. But I like. Yes, Mr. Bond, I like what you've done.
Got to know.
Yes. I expect you to die. Cool.
I would prefer not to.
Please don't. Everyone rests for the evening?
Before we go to sleep, I would take a moment with one of the healing potions that I have.
Yes.
And my ring.
All right. It is now a greater healing potion, I believe, for the next 8 hours or for 24 hours until you decide to use it again. In which case, it will revert back into a regular healing potion.
Right.
Is the space that we're in, like all the cots, is it an open room or is there like different places?
It's actually like a tower almost. So you do have this like big mass area where everybody would sleep, but there's areas as the tower gets larger to sort of set up bows to use bows and arrows. But it is fortified, so it's up to you whether you choose to keep watch. But if anybody's resting, you're resting. Right. It's cot style. It's soldiers. Like.
So are you in a cot sleeping or about to sleep?
Yeah, I'm probably spending some time just focusing on spells and things, but I'm not unapproachable.
So you're within earshot, though?
Yes.
Where I can be like, hey, Chloe.
Yes.
So, hey, Chloe.
Yes.
Is, before tomorrow happens, is this real, or is the other place real? Because here I don't have Harvey, and there I don't have him either.
as much as I wanted to believe that it was the other place, because in a lot of ways that place was far preferable to this one, this is the real one.
And you're sure?
All right, boys, hang on a sec. While this scene is going on.
I am sure. I think. No, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Grim's just gonna just roll back over in his bed. He's just gonna go right to sleep.
Yeah.
And then a cat jumps on him. So.
Yeah, you don't know what this place is.
Teeming with cats.
Teeming with cats. Yeah. You rest. It is a restful sleep. There were no dreams that night. But all of you rest until about 2 a.m.
We're closed.
At the base of the tower. There's one entrance in. There's a knocking that awakens everybody that's... actually, everybody that's resting. So that's everybody but Enwin. Go ahead and give me perception checks at disadvantage, please. You just automatically hear the knock.
Perception at disadvantage?
Yep.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, perception at disadvantage. 2. You're zonked.
14.
Give me.
You hear the knocking.
Oh, 18.
23.
You hear the knocking. You hear the knocking.
I rolled a nat 1 and a nat 20.
Girl, you so sleepy. You are out. You are out. You are bald eagle took by bacon, like talking in your sleep. Out.
I would look over the edge.
Okay.
To see who's down there.
2 guards.
We're closed.
I'm sorry, what?
We're closed.
Is this a store?
In a manner of speaking.
What do you sell?
Experiences.
He said they sell experiences. I think that means it's a brothel. Is that what that means? I think so.
Can I hear the guards talking?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not being loud. Or they're not being quiet. Okay. Are you a brothel?
Of all men.
Maybe I could be whatever you want me to be.
Persuasion check.
9.
This is mid-long rest, so it's not...
This is mid-long rest.
So if I were to do something, would I be down a spell slot?
You would.
I would?
Until you took a long rest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm burning my inspiration.
Okay.
I'm burning my DM's inspiration.
Burn your DM inspiration.
I got the same freaking number.
You got the same number.
The same freaking number.
All right.
Wow.
Just maybe next time, go with a different theme. It looks like you're a fortress.
I mean, brought the soldier boys here, didn't it?
We're done here. And
Bye now.
They will walk away. Yeah. They brought you here. Hey, he's right, he did. Shut up. The 2 of them walk off into the night. All of you mark down a long rest on your sheets. Other than that one interruption, your spell slots are back. Yes.
Am I adding non-detection?
How long did we say? I think
it
I cut
would
your
take 3
time.
hours altogether with the cut
Yeah,
time.
you didn't do any shenanigans. I think you were like, cool, I'm gonna do the smart thing and study. Like,
Cool. Hey guys,
yeah.
I'm a read. Reading's cool.
You know what's cool? Reading. You know what's not cool?
Reading.
Other stuff. Later. Thanks, LeVar Burton. So yeah, you've got non-detection added to your spell list.
Would I have had time to attune an item as well?
You would have. What did you take something off and attune something?
Yes.
I passed him my Pearl of Power last session.
Okay.
So I'm
Understood.
switching out the hat. Because
Perfect. Done and done. Yeah. All right. It is early morning. You all...
Making waffles.
How long
There
is
is
this?
no kitchen.
Until I
How?
the command word. Yeah.
Or it's destroyed.
Or it's destroyed, but it's really hard to kill.
It is.
That wasn't a challenge. Not a challenge. I don't want you to take it that way. It's just a statement made to someone else.
How does it do with fire?
Just fireball. Just fireball.
Yeah. Please don't.
I shouldn't waste the spell slots.
Yeah.
If it was night, I would totally fireball this thing right now.
But why though?
What is happening?
Because you issued a challenge.
He didn't. He explained the thing.
Okay,
And
This is the magic
So
item I would
we're all
kill for.
sitting around a table.
We should
now.
I'm sorry,
on our
Maeve typing fireball to test it for science. That's great. Yeah.
Going is very scientific.
Okay.
Sometimes. Used to be? I don't know.
So, we have all the supplies necessary. Are we all clear on the plan?
Yes.
Who's in barrels?
Everybody but me and Thoey.
Then Grim's gonna waste no time. I call this one. He's gonna get into one.
I just need you to duck your head just a little bonk.
Okay. So, question.
Yes.
These barrels.
Yes.
Totally, I'm into it. I'm all about it. I don't know if your shield and some of your other accoutrements, like you stuffing Grim into a barrel, I will buy all day, day.
Sweet.
Cass. But you being
I got
like,
that
so where should I put this?
So
The
guys,
sword-
does anybody have a bag with which I could put things in for sake of holding them?
We can use my bag of everything is cold and awesome.
Oh, fantastic.
This means that at any point
Yes.
that things start to get dicey,
Yes.
I'm defenseless.
No, you have
have
your left hand
never-
and you have your right hand.
You have never
And
once
you have
been
heart.
defenseless.
That's what's important.
and earth, and wind, and fire.
Fire.
Heart.
Thank you.
Wait.
Go wonder.
If things begin to go south, I'll get your items to you.
Well, then stay close to me.
Just 2 barrel walls away, I promise.
He's here or there.
I'm gonna give you the Wand of Secrets I have, because I feel like you'll use it, and since I haven't.
What does this do?
It's
An overly large toothpick.
Thank you.
detects secret door or trap within 30 feet of you.
Awesome. Have you chosen a shape for this, Chloe?
No? What is that, a little donkey?
A donkey to haul 10 barrels of.
Well, I guess I'll have to be bigger than that.
Yeah.
Suggestions?
A draft horse.
Ooh, all right. Sounds good to me.
Ooh, a Clydesdale.
Yes.
Small dragon. Shush you.
I think an elephant might stand out a bit. Perhaps not.
Okay, so a very large horse, possibly kick if necessary.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Would you like to be kicked?
I would not like to be
Okay.
kicked.
I mean, if we're volunteering, can I
passive-aggressive.
volunteer literally anybody but me?
Okay.
Right
now, he's at the top of the list.
So I have the Wand of Secrets. I have your items. Does anyone else
climbed
need
in
to
a
hold
barrel while they
anything?
were talking about everything. Was just like, oh, she's kicking people.
I think there's like what you guys are talking. There's a. As Edwin crawls in.
Would you like for me to hold the very small cart in my bag and make sure we don't say that word?
Are you taking your feathered friend
You're
with you?
I feel like
You can
in
keep your
full
cart
form.
as long
feel
as
like the words can be said
actually.
at
Yeah,
some
no,
point.
I'm taking your cart
Let me,
away
I have
from
a
you.
question
Yeah.
regarding my bag of holding. It's a pocket dimension, yes?
Yes.
If someone were to say a trigger word when something is inside of the pocket dimension,
You'd be able
would
to
it
pull the
activate?
entire full-size card out.
Great question.
Here's the deal. Your bag of holding is not an infinite space.
It's not.
There is a finite amount of space that you can do.
Correct.
So if the bag gets overfilled or
Right.
punctured in any way, it could rip and all of your items could be lost that have stored in it, including Grim's Sheet.
Right. I was just asking.
Okay, so
I was
Grim,
just asking
here's
if
what I wanna
it
do.
can hear
Grim,
a command word
focus,
inside of it.
focus
So,
up.
like, for example, when I had during
You don't think that if you stored an item in the bag, unless you stuck your head in the bag or stuck someone in it instead of command.
Okay.
But sound should not carry.
Okay, that was
Yes,
my
absolutely.
question.
Yeah, yeah.
I can get it when
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
done. Okay.
Okay.
We're just waiting for like a soldier to be like,
on.
oh, are those barrels
you.
of? And
Yeah.
then,
So
like, it
what we're
explodes
doing?
out of the
No, don't say it!
I've taken Grimm's toy away and I'm putting it in the alley.
No, he's putting it in
No,
his
I'm-
bag.
No, that's a no.
He just verified that
He
it
just verified it's
cannot.
not here inside.
The command word cannot reach inside of a pocket dimension.
There you go.
All right.
So
If it's safe.
I'm going to put it inside of my bag of holding.
What are you putting in the bag?
And zip it up.
His
Grimm's
shield,
mini
his
cart?
sword, and the mini cart.
With the barrels, right?
Yes.
Got it.
The-
I'm just making you nervous, dude. You're fine. Yeah, everything goes in the bag.
Oh,
it's
so
fine.
you're making
I'm
me
like-
nervous, dude.
It's all
I
of
have
Grimm's
taken more
toys.
things than that out of my bag in the past 24 hours.
Sure. They are filled in the bag. You are wild shaping, I'm assuming,
Yes,
into
a very large Clydesdale type horse.
a Clydesdale type horse.
Yes,
Okay.
large.
Look, I want to have the Budweiser moment. Okay, leave me alone.
No, that's this bud's for you, and you and Rose. So yeah,
You and Rose
Oh my
too.
gosh, and I can talk as a horse because of my necklace.
you can, Mr. Ed.
Horse wearing a necklace.
So barrel, wine in hand.
I am going to switch out my current attire for more of a traveler's clothes that I have,
Okay.
and I am a merchant that is going to be sitting on top of this cart.
Traveling merchant on top of the cart.
Yes.
Understood. Next.
I forgot to say that I would have changed into the spade guard clothing that we nabbed a while ago.
You're in guard's clothing.
Yes,
Okay.
in the barrel.
Good move.
You're a spade. Understood. Got
In
it.
the barrel.
Got it. No, I'm into it. I'm into this so much. This is great. So you climb into the barrel, spade guard clothing. That's great. Enwin is in the barrel as well.
I'm in a barrel, and I would pick a barrel that is on. Let's see, if you're driving in, you're usually on the right side of the road, which means the guards would probably come up on the right. So I would try to be in like the front, or like the second barrel on the right.
Okay, sure. Okay, that's great. So the this is all being done in the alleyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we're off.
Filled
We're
barrels,
all-
filled barrels around us, or
That's
on top
so
of us
unsettling.
somewhere.
It's going to be closer toward the back.
Okay.
Yeah, so it'll be like a barrier of the filled barrels, and then you guys
Mhm.
closer to the front.
Okay.
Yay.
You don't like that idea? We can always switch it around. Well, she voiced a nay.
All in
Yay.
favor? Yeah.
Wait. Before I got in my barrel, sorry, I turned to the fortress and go, "Are we?
Well, damn it.
Yeah.
Are we?
Yeah, we're good. Go ahead.
Okay. And I will say,
Is it not the same word?
no, it's a different command word.
Oh.
You just wasted all your creative energy on Oolongate.
I did. Dregs.
Dregs. Perfect. I love that.
Put it in.
I love it so much. I hate it. Dregs. With the sound dregs, the fortress shrinks back down into size, and you manage to place that in your bag and then hop back into your barrel. Okay.
Okay, here we go.
We are all in the cart.
I'm working on it. Quit being a backseat wine barrel. We're using coconuts.
Sure. You're enjoying horsing around a little bit as you make your way over towards the mouth and past the bustling shops, which are starting to open with the morning day. As people move about the space and you see goods being exchanged and things of that sort, you make your way over to the wide archway that leads into the path that leads up to the castle proper. Standing at the archway are two guards that don't seem to pay you much mind, as they there's a quick glance over as they see the two of you, and they see you there with the horse, and then they look at the barrels themselves and they see the rosé, and then they're just like, oh yeah, and they just sort of wave you ahead a little ways. You go winding past. As you do, you go past the large tree that's on your right-hand side. You see beautiful, beautiful manicured a rose garden, which seems to be teeming with not red roses, but white, that are all leading up to the castle. All of them fully in bloom no matter what time of year it is. Because you were traveling so early in the morning, you would see druids hard at work and other horticulturalists walking over and still sleep in their eyes, some of them looking like they just stumbled out of bed, going over to the bushes and casting, channeling arcane and divine energies to make sure that the bushes and the flowers themselves are pristine. You make your way up this winding path towards the Red Keep, which is a tad more ominous now, amidst the sun rising behind it. As you make your way up this area, it seems to grow larger and larger the closer that you get to it. As you get close, there you reach upon another archway. This one seems to be a little bit more heavily manned. You see a guard post with one guard behind, and you see 3 other guards that are close to the guard post having a conversation, but as the cart begins to make its way up, one of them will sort of look at his, turn his head in confusion, turn to the other 2, and one of them will pull out a piece of paper and look at the piece of paper and shake his head, and he will step in front of your cart, putting a hand up in front of the Clydesdale.
Bring Thoy to a halt. Good morning.
Good morning.
Easy, girl.
How can we help you? We have no record of deliveries being brought in today.
This is a gift requested specifically by Carrick over the Alabaster Cask.
Carrick of the Alabaster Cask?
Yes. Oh, you've heard of him. Wonderful. Okay. So he wanted to, as a show of thanks to the royal family, send some of his finest rosé for any special occasions that may be happening in the future, that kind of thing.
It's a gift.
Indeed.
All right.
In appreciation.
All right. Yes, of course. I understand that people pay tribute to the royal family. This is, of course, we'll just have to examine one of them, and he will head over. He will sort of nod his head off in a direction. One of the guards will sigh and sort of stretch his back out and make his way over to the back of the cart, where there are 10 barrels. So let's roll a d10, and I'll assign 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 have people in them. 3 have liquid, and 2 have nothing. Got it. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, 7 have liquid. 2 have nothing. And you see this gentleman make his way over towards where the wine barrels are, and he will head over.
I'm gonna cast invisibility on myself.
He will head over.
I'm invisible.
Okay. You go to cast. Are there verbal and somatic components to invisibility?
Actually, never mind then. I wouldn't have done that then.
Okay. I will say that you would know not to do that. He goes over to one of the barrels and just sort of gives a knock on it, and you, next you hear this dunk, dunk, dunk knocking on the side of your barrel.
Okay.
It doesn't sound like there's liquid in here.
I swear to goodness, if Carrick gave me some bum barrels, murder that man. You didn't hear me say that.
No, I didn't.
Okay. Here. This one. And put my hand on one of the full barrels. Would you like me to?
Give me a persuasion check.
10.
Yeah, I would. I want you to open that one and that one.
Sure. Just open up the one with the rosé, pull out a small cup, dip it in. See?
Yeah, I mean that's probably best to taste it, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's
no,
just to taste it.
absolutely.
It's like a special.
Yeah, no, it's a very rare blend.
As he takes a sip of it, the captain of the guard goes, and he
just
sort of,
enjoy the fragrance. Let it.
He begrudgingly hands over the cup to the captain and takes a drink. It's very good.
I know,
it's,
right?
oaky.
Yeah.
And the tannins are very good.
Mm.
Are we already?
They do guile and gimble in the way.
Nope. He did not cast that this morning.
Or can we hear this?
You can all hear this
Okay.
from inside. All right. What about the other one?
Right, this one. And I pointed another one of the full barrels.
No, not that one. That one.
Oh, this one.
No, not that one. This one.
Okay,
It
not
doesn't
this
sound like there's anything in there, and he knocks Nix's barrel again.
All right. Give me a second. And really loudly try to fumble with it.
All right.
All dimension door, 500 feet, the direction we came, if I can figure that out. I assume I'd know which direction that was.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just gonna. Oh, that's verbal actually.
Well, I'm making a racket so you can.
Okay.
I'm making a big deal about opening
I'll
this
dimension
one.
door out.
Okay.
Are these barrels standing up or are they sideways? They're standing up.
They're standing up.
Standing up.
That was 2 questions.
Huh. Are you taking the barrel with you?
No, I am just out.
Okay. It's a good. It's a verbal. You start muttering, but he's going, "Oh, this one right here," and he's just like,
Yeah, exactly.
Dunk, dunk, dunk. With this, you teleport yourself 500 feet behind you, and I think I will say you are in between the 2 guard areas as you teleport yourself, sitting down on the ground. Scrunched up into a little ball, since that's how you would be in this area. Teleporting yourself 500 feet. Give me probability, please, as you are transporting without sight.
Yeah.
So there's the potential that you may transport yourself into an object that already exists.
Yeah. 16.
16. Okay. Yeah. You managed to teleport yourself, Dimension Door, into an area. You are sitting down on the ground wearing the spade armor, but no one seems to be paying any attention to who you
Casting
are.
invisibility then.
Okay. With a quick casting, let me roll a perception check to see if you are noticed by either of the parties. Yep. No one seems to notice you as you cast invisibility upon yourself. With that, you hope. And
there it is.
I'm gonna lurch.
Okay.
And stumble like to pull the cart, and then pretend like one of my legs has gone lame. Like it's not. I'm like ugh.
Because I love this game so damn much, give me a performance check as a horse. You are using the horse's performance check right here.
Stats for a horse's.
Well, no, it's wild shape, so she keeps her own charisma.
Yeah, that's fair. Give me
Oh,
Thoe's
good, 'cause
performance
my
check
charisma is
because
+0.
the horse might actually be good.
I thought you were helping.
Oh my
Look,
god.
for wild shape, you keep your soft stats. I'm sorry.
I know.
Yeah.
That's an 18.
Nice.
There's a lurch, and it gathers the attention right as you go to open it. There's a lurch, and you hear like, oh my god, there's something wrong with this horse, and you all turn around, and the guards are sort of looking as Thoe is lifting her.
Oh, that's right, because I had a +5 to roll too.
Yeah, lifting
I
her.
had one from Grim, and then Icky just.
23. Are you using the +5
I'm gonna
here?
use the one from Grim because I don't want to forget
'Kay.
about that one.
All right, so
And then
Grimm's
Icky-
+5
Okay.
bumps this to a 23. I was like, is something wrong with your horse?
Oh no. Here, you can have a look at the barrel. And like, I hop
No,
down
just
and go in the front.
can you get out of here, please, and take your bum horse with you, please? Just
She is a majestic creature, and I will have you apologize.
Did
Look
she
at
just
look at
she
her
just
eyes.
she just made a bird sound. She just went. I'm not going to apologize to your horse.
That's very rude.
We're
Come
still-
along.
I'm gonna look really pitiful and cute.
Right. Please just get out of here. The horse is freaking us out. If you want to, we have someone in the back that can kill it for you.
I don't think that'll be necessary, but I appreciate the offer.
Your horse has a bum leg.
Yeah, I know. But hey, watch this. And hey, watch this over there. And come on, let's go. Come on. Like walking the horse.
Yep. Yeah. You walk with the horse, and the leg seems to be fine now as you you make your way.
I'm doing a little bit of a limp just for believability.
What are you doing next?
I'm tailing the group now since I am on
Give me a stealth check at advantage as you are still making noise as you walk about the space. And
stealth at advantage
Yep.
will be a 13.
Now you mentioned that you were wearing the guard's uniform. Are you wearing the subsequent armor that goes with
I
that
would not
uniform?
have worn armor because it would have messed with my.
Okay, so you're just wearing sort of the red cloak and the spade insignia. You're not wearing the armor that goes with it.
Yes.
Yes.
Sure.
I'm
I
just
don't know.
I'm just double checking.
I don't
Yeah.
know what it consisted of, so I'm just wearing.
Sure,
If
as
it
much
would've
as you
been
can get away
believable,
with
yeah.
that didn't hamper your casting.
Yeah.
Yep. What was your total?
13.
13. Yeah, you follow after the cart for a ways. There is one of the guards that sort of looks up in your direction as you walk. Tracks the footsteps and take a few steps forward, but you are already past and beyond at this point. You were directed to head towards the back of the castle, the castle where there is a servant's entrance, and you see that there is a kitchen. And upon making your way over to this area, you see a small mousy woman that is already standing outside. She's got long white hair that is pulled back into a tight braid behind her head, and she's small. You can't tell if she is a halfling or just a short woman, but she's standing at the ready and awaiting. Are you here with the gift?
Yes. Yeah, it'd be these 3 barrels here. Unfortunately, I have to make another delivery a little bit further on, but Carrick was very insistent that these 3 barrels of rosé were to go to the crown.
Understood. Do you wish to unload them yourselves, or would you need help?
I would love some assistance. Because, I mean, look at me. I like hold out my arms and a little stick man.
Sure. And she will take a wand out from her side, and she will cast a rudimentary spell, and those 3 barrels will levitate out of the air, and she will...
That is very handy.
She will begin to take them off the cart and start leading those 3 barrels into a side entrance, walking with them, leaving you alone for the time being in this small area.
Make sure nobody's around.
Yep, no one seems to be around. Give me a perception check as you just double check to see if anybody's got eyes on you at the moment.
7. As far as I know, we're in the clear. Great.
Yep, you are the most not watched ever anyone's ever been.
Just knock on the respective barrels. Okay, done.
Grim's gonna peek his head up and like survey, like as his nature would allow.
You're next to the Red Keep. You're by a servant's entrance on the that seems to be located behind the castle proper. If you look off to your right, you see a hedge maze that stretches off into the distance, and there's some ornate fountains that are set up right leading into the hedge maze. There's a set of stairs that leads up to a raised balcony that you imagine for parties. People might stand up there and deliver speeches or and things of that sort. There's a set of double doors that lead from this balcony into the castle proper. But right now, you are located in this small servants' quarters, and the door is open. You see the last remnants of a small woman leading 3 barrels into this servants' quarters.
And we're alone. So I'm going to say really quietly, because I can talk in horse. Why don't we just park the cart and then sneak?
Yes. Okay, so come on. Everybody out. Let's go.
Out. Grim's getting out and immediately.
I'm casting pass without it.
I hand sword and shield.
Coming out of my wild shape and casting pass without a trace.
Dropping wild shape, I think as she drops wild shape, you drop your invisibility as well.
I'm in there. Cool.
Yep. Getting yourself into this pass without a trace.
To help this whole process to become as stealthy as possible.
Correct. So all of you, for the time being, as long as you are traveling with Thoe, you can add a +10 to your stealth roll.
Awesome. Telepathic bond.
Telepathic bond is established between all 6 of you. I ask that if you are telepathically speaking, you touch your forehead, so I know that this is a telepathic thought.
I pass sword and shield back to Grim.
Sword and shield or pass back to Grim.
How long does this pass without a trace thing last?
It's a good amount of time. I will let you know exactly because I
My
can't remember off the top of my head.
It is up to an hour.
Okay.
Before you stand up out of the barrel, Enwin.
I'm going to say, my name is Mira, and I'm going to activate the Mantle of Names to look like Mira, the matronly barmaid.
Okay. He goes, "My name is Mira," and as he does, he looks like this matronly woman that might work in any sort of inn or tavern that you find, not like in this area or any other area. Just a matronly woman, and he all of his armor sort of disappears, and his chitinous necklace as well. Your familiar is still with you. Yes, but yes, Enwin looks completely different.
Would it help you? I'm looking over at Nyx. Would it help you? I mean, I don't know how recognizable you might be here, but would it help you to look different, like a polymorph?
What's polymorph do?
I mean,
Is
you
it?
can transform. So
It was your soft and your hard staff.
I
so
mean,
you
it could
turn
be an
into
animal, but
something
it
else.
could also just be a person that looks. Any beast. Sorry, no, it's a beast. But you could be a rat or a cat or
I mean,
Well, here's the thing. Can you keep that and pass other traits going at the same time?
no.
Hmm.
So if we're gonna sneak through the castle, then, but if we're just planning to go into the castle and walk around,
I'll be
then
good.
it's an option.
I'm gonna cast Alter Self to make me
Oh.
look more like a guard. The only problem is it's concentration, but I can
Oh,
hold it.
Okay. Alter Self is cast at this point, and you just make yourself look like a generic
guard.
Yes.
Soldier A. It's
Soldier
been a
A.
while.
We've all been there. I was Soldier A in a production of Othello one time, and my entire performance consisted of 2 or 3 groan. They may be counterfeit. That's it. You're welcome. That was Soldier A.
Disguise self to look like one of the red butlers.
The Red Butlers. Explain.
Like the male equivalent of the maids.
Tim Curry from Clue.
Yeah. Like,
Okay.
They deliver things from the kitchen.
What are you
they
using as a
clean.
resource here?
I would have some knowledge of the Red Keep from what was in the book and our previous trip into the castle where we came back from hell and we were walking through.
So you were dressing as the formal tuxedoed version of the servants that were walking around when you came back from hell?
They were all in tuxedos?
The servants that you saw at this time were in formal wear.
Okay.
Each one of them emblazoned with a black tuxedo jacket, a black tuxedo pair of pants, nice shoes, but a red buttoned down shirt with large wide collars.
Okay. Never mind.
We're gonna look rather silly if we all look differently here.
Never mind, I'll just stay hidden.
I think I will choose to hide. Thoe's magic begins to take hold as a veil of shadows begins to form underneath your feet and encompass all of you, increasing your stealth for this time.
It's going stealthy.
Sure. How are we entering into the castle?
Through a door.
Through the door. Right.
I'm going to turn towards wine in hand and say, do you feel anything?
Do I feel anything? From Chesh?
I mean, it's beautiful out. From Chesh.
It's a lovely day.
I have an idea.
Mm.
Well, go ahead, and then I have an idea.
Give me a wisdom save.
Wisdom save. Okay.
As you reach out with your senses and try to
Natural 20.
Okay. You reach out your senses. Cheshire is all around you because the last of Cheshire's grace is within you. But you take some time. I want to reward this nat 20. You take some time to really concentrate, and it's hard because before there was always the faith that drove you. Faith powers a cleric, and there's a difference between knowledge and faith. Faith is knowing that no matter what happens, like Cheshire's always got your back, but now that you've spoken with him and known him and he's granted you that grace, you've had this sort of question digging at the back of your head. So you let go of the mantle. You do this save to see if you're able to be strong enough to let go of this part of Cheshire. You feel that drain again as your powers leave you, and there's a small blip, like a small laugh in a stuffy party filled with stuffy people who are not speaking to one another. That one person who lets out a small chuckle, which you know is the precursor for the night turning into a rager. And their small laugh seems to echo from the second floor of the castle. Up to the left, there's a set of windows up above from where you're standing. That fourth window up seems to be the general direction of where you're hearing it.
Second floor, fourth window.
Oh, that's
That's where he is.
He is?
I don't think. That's where he is.
Okay.
Let's go.
You sure? All right. Okay, let's do it.
Okay. as I've said before, the doors and the entrances that you can see, there's a servant's quarters where the woman disappeared with the 3 barrels of wine. There's 2 sets of double doors up a set of stairs that overlook the garden that open up into what you think is the large ballroom that you all saw with the stage that reached out where the ceremony was taking place, with the introduction of Princess and her intended Red Jack.
I have an idea for how to do this.
All ears.
It's risky,
Okay.
No, I've got eyes too, but I am listening.
possibility. Well, I mean, I've got my friends, the Pixies, who have helped us out of some situations before, and they, I mean, we could always ask them if they might change us into more of a flying form, so we could just kind of fly up there in a really inconspicuous, I don't know, like insect type form, and fly in the window, and then we can just kind of come out of that, and we'll be up there, and we won't have to sneak through the castle.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but in the past, when your little friends have helped and turned others into other things, didn't they kind of lose themselves for a moment?
Well, yeah, but I could turn into something. Maybe we could a way that I could.
I'd
I
rather
could
keep
bring
our wits
us
about
up.
us while we're here.
like the
Small bits,
idea.
like I could be a bird or something, and then I would keep my wits about me.
Yes, but if we're insects and you're a bird, our immediate instinct would be to go away from the bird because birds
Right.
are
Well,
bugs.
it doesn't have to be insects. We could find something that I could carry
Also,
5 of.
I just point at my winged boots that I'm wearing.
Oh, you can just
and
fly up there.
float above the ground.
Yes, but you're more conspicuous when you fly as yourself in winged boots up into somebody's window.
And summoning 6
A bird
fairies
is-
isn't going to be.
No, they're tiny. They're so little.
I think that we should make a
Maybe
decision and move.
we should get moving now.
Okay, let's go. We'll just stay stealthy, sneaky. Let's go.
In through the servants' quarters then.
Through the servants' quarters.
I think all of you prepare yourselves, you prep, and as you take your first halting steps into the space, the older woman is standing at the doorway to greet all of you, and as she goes to come out and sort of close that door back, she sees all of you.
Go night-night.
Hello, ma'am.
Okay.
Do you know what these people are doing here? This gentleman right here, what was he doing here?
He was delivering.
I was
a
just
gift.
dropping off some barrels of wine. I
I've
was on my
never
way to my next
seen any of
delivery.
these other individuals before.
Alright, I'll take him then.
Give me a
Look,
deception
I
check.
swear to goodness, I haven't done anything wrong. Can
At
I assist?
advantage.
Cool.
18?
Very well. Thank you.
Great.
Sir.
More paperwork for me. Fantastic.
And she will shut the door.
I'll lead them out of there in the direction we're supposed to be going.
You walk up the small steps to the double doors that lead into the ballroom. The door easily opens into a wide, spacious ballroom. There doesn't seem to be anyone around in the ballroom. And inside the ballroom is another set of doors that lead into the... Thank you, Miss Audie. We love you so much. That's so sweet.
Thank you.
We just talked about you. Princess's name was uttered. You must have felt your ears burning. Thank you, Miss Audie. I'll tell you what. Because of Miss Audie's generous donation, she's wishing all of you good luck. Each of you... what time is it right now? 9:41. From now till the end of the stream, each of you can have a DM inspiration. But it only lasts from now. We'll call it Audie inspiration. Okay?
Audie inspiration die.
Audie inspiration
Inspiration
die.
die.
That was really sweet.
Thank you, Audie.
Thank you, Miss Audie. So you make your way into this ballroom. There doesn't seem to be anyone in it. There are 2 sets of doors that lead out from this ballroom. Another set of double doors as you make your way over to where the large stage is, where you saw the ceremony taking place. And you know that this stage leads into a bit of a foyer with a staircase that leads upward, as some of you were escorted through this space by the other day. And there's another set of doors. It is one single door that leads off, which looks like it might lead to some servants' quarters or a place to bring in food from a kitchen into the ballroom.
Does the place we visited in Hell, does the layout seem to match?
Give me an intelligence check as you roll, as you're comparing something that just
I
happened.
took notes on it.
Intelligence would be a 18.
Okay. Yeah. For the most part, it's almost identical to exactly to where.
So to get to where he specified, what would be the more likely path?
There's two. There's two.
Less foot traffic would be better.
The castle is built as such that many of the floors that you could get to, and I can say this because you're all Central Florida people. Imagine the Magic Kingdom with the tunnel system set up so that anybody in uniform could make their way to a separate area of the castle without interrupting official business or any of the royalty going on. So there secret tunnels, secret areas that only the servants would use in order to, if the king wanted to bring up a man or woman for his own private pleasure, that they could be escorted up and not have to go through any of the main entranceways. If the queen wanted to address and have private consultation with someone, she could use those little areas, and each of the rooms seems to be connected by smaller areas that are connected to the servants' quarters. There are troubles found therein. If you take the main entrance, it's going to be a little shorter. It's shorter time-wise of travel. You can take the servants' quarters, but there's no telling how many servants are bustling about the castle at the beck and call of the royal family currently at the moment. There is a chance that you could persuade them, but each one is inherent with its own dangers. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Do you relay that to us?
Yes.
Okay. So, at the very least, if we go into the servants' quarters, we could get some disguises for the rest of us. And then I could use this, and I'll hold up the Wand of Secrets.
Works for me.
We also need something to put in our teacups.
Can everybody still hear me if I
I've
do
got
this?
tea. That's not a problem.
This is all being spoken out loud.
Sorry.
But as you go, can anybody hear me if I do this? You guys just hear the voice of Wine in Hand, and he's just kind of like smirking.
I've got tea.
If we don't have enough servant outfits, I mean, I can go small too.
I have special effects clothing, so I'm fine.
And if I see one, I can disguise myself.
Sounds like a plan.
I'm a guy with a stick.
Are there any animals running about the castle? Do they have like
cats
or anything like that? Or is this something that they would have?
Give me a perception check, because it's not something you've noticed before, but you're just sort of paying attention to the area.
I'm a guy with a pointy stick. I could punch things real good.
A 21. Let's see. Yeah, you know what? You have noticed a few cats. None of the cats are what you would call like wild cats. All of them look to be like the equivalent of like show cats. The only cat that you've seen so far happened to be outside that was by that maze and sort of sunning, and it was this beautiful white. One of those that looks like it's got a smushed but super angry face all the time.
Oh, like Himalayan.
Himalayan
Yeah.
cat, but that just seemed to be long, like this beautiful gold collar, and you think that this collar was probably worth more than any of the gold or platinum that you all have seen in your lives.
I'll get that collar.
Yeah,
Later
it's
project.
back
Later
outside,
project.
yeah.
I might be a castle cat.
Mr. Tinkles.
Yes.
The cat's name is Mr. Tinkles. Icky, it is canon.
Thank you, Icky.
Because if we get caught, at least I can run off and try to get to the king, and that's one less person walking around, which will be less quantities of people.
Sounds good.
Okay.
All right.
Tinkles.
You go full Tinkles,
Tinkles.
And
The
right in the
bathroom's
middle of the
literally
ballroom.
right
Right in the middle of the ballroom, you go Tinkles, and you are the white cat, but you do not have the collar upon your neck.
Yes.
All right.
Right then.
Special effects clothing, looking like a servant.
Looking like a servant.
Have we stepped into the servants' quarters yet?
Nope.
Okay.
You could look at what I'm wearing and you could change it to that.
Do you?
Because I am servanty.
Right, but have you seen their servant outfits?
When the lady was walking through the door, I peeked my head and I saw her.
Okay.
Like, yes, you're
Okay.
serving.
Then I will.
Are you in a fancy dress?
It's general color scheme, opposed to a general color scheme.
Got it.
But yeah. Unless you're wearing a dress, I mean that's your call, buddy.
It's a kilt.
It's a battle skirt.
Utility kilt. Got it. On it.
It's a combat skirt.
I'll stay as I am for now until we peek inside the
Yeah,
servants'
man.
quarters.
Eric,
I can
you're good
see
enough,
exactly
buddy.
what it looks.
Yeah, you stay you. No, you head to the servants' quarters. As you open up the servants' quarters, it is a small space, but it looks like it is a long hallway that connects to a kitchen. And right now there is no sound, or you don't see anyone in this long hallway leading from the area to the kitchen. The sounds of work that normally come from a kitchen and the smells of cooked food are not coming from this kitchen.
Sneaky, sneaky towards the kitchen.
Give me stealth checks.
Plus 10. And you don't get the plus 10. Oh, no.
Because you're still with us.
Concentration.
You're wild shaped. You're good. Oh my god. Don't forget that plus 10.
28.
Okay, so that's a natural 30?
Natural 30.
I got a natural 20 plus 10.
I'm into it.
16.
16. The rogue?
Nat 1.
Okay, but that balances, right?
The 2 nat 20, and it's more successes than failures. As Mandrakus goes, oh, guys, the servants' court. And then he goes, guys, the servants' quarter. As you make your way into the small kitchen, all of you being very sneaky, there's no one in this area. It's odd. You would think that this kitchen might be, unless this kitchen was specifically built to house parties in the ballroom.
Walking through whatever door will lead us to our destination.
Set of stairs leading up to the second floor. Utilidor, using I would say with the utilization of the hallways and the passages that connect all the different rooms, with the research you've done and the amount of work, you managed to make your way up to the second floor. As you make your way up to the second floor, there is an older gentleman who is standing at the ready. He's sitting at a small stool, and you see that this door that is looking out is a small circular hole thing. That's almost like a in those restaurants where the kitchen connects to the restaurant itself, and they have that like porthole. He's sitting in a stool that if he were to stand up, he could look out the porthole and see. And as he turns around and looks, you all, he sees all of you.
I'm gonna go jump on the table. Because that's what I would do.
No, Tinkles. No, Tinkles. Down.
I knocked something off the table.
No, Tinkles, down.
Get him to chase you.
May I help all of you?
I'm just trying to get the cat.
Is he carrying any? Does he have anything on him?
He is wearing regular. He's not wearing a utilikilt, but he's wearing simplistic clothing. He's carrying a red book at his side.
How big is the red book?
The book is rather large. It looks to be a tome. He's got glasses that are perched at the end of his nose, and as he looks at Tinkles and says, "Are you all here for the position as well, or no?"
I mean, would I be here otherwise? Of course, I'm here for the position.
Yes, of course. All right.
What position are you talking about, guys?
Very well. I believe I am up next, but if you would like to go after me, then that.
That's very considerate of you.
Seems more than fair. All of you, I hear, or just him.
Oh, just me. He was showing me the way to get here. I don't think the cat's up for the position.
No, of course not. Yes. And you as well.
Oh, I was just here to see what all this was about.
You,
I'm here for
ma'am?
the same reason they are. And because of the atrophy, I sound like Brianna.
You do sound like Brianna. Rather unorthodox, but I suppose needs must.
Mm-hmm.
So, well, good luck.
And to you as well.
Yes.
Is this the older dude, like pretty like crepit?
He's up there. I want to say early 60s, or it's hard to pinpoint. He's got little tufts of he's got white hair, and he's at that age. I would say that maybe late 60s is he's got the little tufts of white hair that come out of the ears a little bit.
Almost tempted to steal his book.
And he nods at each and every one of you, and as he makes his way to the door, he looks through the small portal, and
you'll be fine.
Yes, of course. And he will make his way through the door with the book in hand.
immediately getting as close to the door as I can to try to listen through.
Sure. You place your ear against the door and listen. It's hard as the door is swinging a little bit. You just sort of position yourself and bob your head and move along with it. You hear a few words of Rex, welcome. You were summoned forth, and I am beyond appreciative to have you here. Are you here for the position? And you hear the older man speak. Yes, I am, and I assure you, my lady, that I have the qualifications of which you seek. And you hear a soft chuckle. Tut tut, Rex. There is no doubt in my mind that you are exactly what we are looking for. And he.
Is this room leading into where I felt Cheshire?
It is not.
Okay.
This room seems to be. There's another side hallway that leads down. This room is leading off into a different area.
Okay. Would I recognize the name Rex?
No, that name does not ring a bell for you.
Okay, just
Yeah,
checking.
because I'll be relaying everything I'm hearing to them.
As he relays the name Rex, and none of you have ever heard of this name, it does not ring a bell to you.
And I would. Is this the room you were talking about?
Decidedly not. Let's move on.
Okay. You make your way down a small side hallway. As you do, alarm bells start going off in your head as you pass yet another string of doors alongside hallways, each one with their own small porthole. And sure enough, you get to one that, based on your position in the house, is the room in which you sensed Cheshire.
We're here.
Okay.
I'm walking straight in.
Nope.
No.
She's a cat.
I'm a cat.
Is there a door?
There is a swinging door akin to the one that you saw before.
I'm going to reach down and grab the cat.
Give me a dex check, contested. Both of you, as she said she was going. A d20 plus your dex as a cat.
Oh, cat Dex. That's right. Thank you.
Dex, cat dex.
Just want to make sure it's clear.
I got a 12. That was with the addition.
Then I will.
It's just straight dex, right?
Straight
I got
dex.
13.
Yeah.
She
it's
manages.
cool.
She
Don't
manages.
need to check the door for traps.
She manages to push her way through this door and into this space. As she does, this small portion of the wall opens up and swings back into place. A circular mirror. As you walk into the room and were to tilt your head back, you would just see a mirror on the wall, a mirror on the wall, as the small portion of the wall opens. Before you is a large bed, four-poster, much, all of the furniture in the room is covered with this layer of white silk, white fabric. There is a large figure on the bed, who is laying there. It looks rather large, and he's breathing shallowly as he stares up at the ceiling, eyes open.
What are you seeing?
Are you dead?
Better question.
It's just a room.
Yes, a
It's got
90s
white
rap in
stuff.
you. Yeah.
And big giant bed. Come on in.
And I'll follow. I'll head inside.
Okay.
Stealthily going inside.
I'm in.
Those of you that enter into the space are immediately greeted with the visage of the King of Wonderland. Emaciated, sick, laying on a bed, wearing a white shirt and white pants. The room is cleaned. There are candles lit at various intervals around the room.
What color are the candles?
The candles are white. They cast a soft glow on everything that almost give the king the sign of more life than he has. You ever been in a darkened space and you light a bunch of candles, and as the flames flicker and move about the space, it almost gives things the appearance of movement? but you are able to distinguish the fact that the king is not well. He's breathing. Is shallow, and his eyes are staring at the ceiling with a bloodshot look to them.
He was here. I felt him here.
No, he's inside the king. It's hard to describe. They're trapped. They're trapped in the king, and I don't understand how, but that's what's going on.
And if they're inside, then how do we get them out?
Well, I don't know that part.
So we came here, not knowing how to get them out.
You're complaining about a lack of a plan?
I'm gonna
put my hand on Mandrake's shoulder and go, study me for a moment. I'm gonna close my eyes and I'm gonna look through Ethiel's.
Okay. Ethiel sees invisible things.
True sight.
Yeah. Did she see true sight or invisible things?
True sight shows you invisible things.
Okay.
Concernicus.
Same.
Enwin steadies himself. Mandrake, you place a hand on his shoulder as if to say, I am here.
Mm-hmm.
My presence is here. Enwin. His eyes go white. And Ethiel's head looks about the space. And when the room that you see before you, you see into the ethereal plane. You see a bunch of things in this space. You see individuals or groups of individuals spread at certain points throughout this room. They seem to be emanating from small pockets of arcane energy. In one corner of the room is a green source of light, and from this small source of light, from this pocket, you see a royal F-ton of furbolgs. It is a ton of them. It is almost as if there are too many in this space. They go past the walls, they go past the ceiling. It is almost as if they are lined up with one standing at the middle, all staring straight ahead stoically. Okay? Emanating from this green gem. From another gem in the room that emanates a red light, you see the visage of the Cheshire Cat, who is also catatonic, staring straight ahead. Throughout the space, and when your mind starts reeling, as you're having trouble distinguishing the dimensions of the space that you're in, as it doesn't quite mesh with the reality that's unfolding before you. As your eyes dart about the space, you see other gems and other beings held in place. You see the caterpillar, once again in the visage of a gentleman wearing glasses and a green three-piece suit and a fisherman's cap on, and he's staring straight ahead as well. You see what looks to be Harvey, who looks a little disheveled, who is holding a pocket watch. Is the only thing, and his pocket watch seems to be glowing with a faint glow. You see Dull in one corner of the room. Dull looks beaten to within an inch of her life. She's got cuts and gashes down both of her arms, and every time you look at Dull, her sword given to her by the Dormouse seems to flash an incandescent light, and almost as if it's replicating the heartbeat that she holds within her chest. The space is filled, Enwin, with different figures, different forms, each one representing, after you've studied the ritual, ties to the gods, ties to the magic surrounding that of Wonderland. The furbolgs you can attune are the connection to the earth itself, the connection to that world, the Cheshire being his own connection, the caterpillar, the hare, the dormouse, all of these are represented as flowing from central points, almost as if it was a spider web. with the central point being this figure in the bed. Except for one. There's a pocket of light, of white, bright, radiant light that connects from one strand to a spot in the room in which no one stands. The thread just encompasses the floor with a circle. This is what you see with your true sight, looking into the ethereal plane.
I communicate all of that telepathically.
Do we see these gemstones, or are these gemstones
I'm
more...
gonna take a step towards Mandrake and just be nearby.
Okay.
Are these gemstones more metaphorical, or do we actually see these gemstones around the room?
Give me investigation checks as you start poring over the space and start looking for
14.
16.
18 plus
17.
20, not now.
Okay. Who got above a 17?
I got a 17.
There's no gems in the space. You're still in cat form, correct? As the cat begins to dart about the space and just... There's no gemstones. You're looking on corners as he describes everything. You're jumping onto countertops. You're looking up top. You're going underneath pieces of furniture. There are no physical gemstones. And your eyes dart back to that of the king, and your eyes close and squint as you look upon the king, and you jump up onto his chest, which is not uncommon for a cat to do, and walk forward to his crown. He's wearing the white clothing. He's wearing the white pants, but he's still resplendent in the bejeweled crown.
And the jewels that he describes are in the crown.
All of them. Save one.
So it's an empty space in the crown?
There
There's
is
a jewel missing?
there is an empty space in the crown.
Okay. I relay that.
Was there any connection to the Mad Hatter in the gems?
No.
You want to look back through Athiel's eyes? Looking specifically for that?
Yeah.
Yep. You dart about the space. It's a lot of individuals. It's hard because it's shifting your vision and slightly over to the right 1 second and seeing a room that once had like 7 or 8 people filled with it, which has like 30 people in this space, all standing motionless at the side. There is a random figure that's connected to Mandrake Madigan's, the same color of his hat, and it's hard, you can't pinpoint. But you know who this is immediately. But he's got the same aura. He's got the same sort of spastic energy that you've associated with him. What would you say your color is, Mandrake?
It's like a deep navy blue.
Yeah. And it's odd to see this navy blue coming from Red Jack.
Pass that on.
Did he point out where Cheshire was in the room?
Yeah.
I'm sitting on the floor just staring at that spot.
Okay. You it's hard.
I'm so close, and
you put a hand up, and if he would look through Athiel's eyes, your hand would just pass through the essence, because it's seeing the finish line and being this damn close to it.
I'm gonna go touch the crown and dispel magic 6th level.
All right.
Do we need to get the gems out of it, or just destroy it?
If the magic's dispelled, we don't have to worry about it.
I'm still just like standing there staring from when you said Red Jack. Red Jack is here.
I need you to give me a DC.
Okay.
So you're going to make an ability check. You're just adding your spellcasting ability. You're not adding your proficiency. So
So my
D20.
+5. Can I use Audie's inspiration?
You can. So if you want to make this roll at advantage, you can.
So I'm making it at...
Yeah, that's what the inspiration is.
Yeah.
Okay, 17 plus 5.
23.
22.
22. You're right. I can't.
22.
I can't math.
22. Nyx strolls over, and you have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
You're like, I don't understand. Let's say that the research you did was right. That the line of the Hatter was somehow connected to the court. That the Hatter always maintains the balance, but there's got to be an antithesis.
Right.
And there's a reason he hated you as much as he did. You, in particular. F you, in particular. And that's always been the case.
Right.
Doesn't matter if you go in with Grim. Doesn't matter if you go into the house. It was
Yeah.
you. It was you that mouthed off to him. It was you that said those things to him. It was you.
Okay.
He invited you into the castle when he pretended like he was eating gnomes in the space. The spell magic is cast upon the crown, and as it does, there is a surge of magical energy that emits from Nyx as the spell completes. The magic surrounding the crown is immediately dispelled, and there is a cracking sound as the gems surrounding the crown begin to break. The magic holding them in place, and there is a deep, ragged breath that emanates from the king himself as a door swings open from the space, and the queen herself walks into the space, opening the door to see all of you standing there, and her eyes dart from you
Banishment 5th level.
from where Nyx is. She will go ahead and counter that.
Yep.
I'm gonna counter that.
Okay? You're going to need to roll.
Yeah. I can only roll it. I'm still honestly a little bit confused on how that works.
Sure. She's counterspelling. Banishment at what level?
5th.
5th level. Okay, you are going to have to roll this in order to see if you can counterspell this counterspell. Okay?
Okay.
What did you get? What level are you casting counterspell at?
5th.
5th level?
That's all I've got.
Okay.
I rolled a 13.
13?
Do I add anything to that? I don't understand how this spell works.
Okay.
I understand that it stops other spells from working.
It does. So counterspell. If you are attempting,
class on this because I don't get it either.
if you are attempting to counterspell a counterspell, as all of these things go off at the same time. So basically, he goes to cast banishment on her. She goes to counterspell this. You are attempting to interrupt the process of her doing counterspell. The level that she is casting this in is not at the level that you cast the spell counterspell in. So you are trying to hit a 10 plus the spell's level.
Okay.
So with your 13, that's not going to do it.
Well, that was a raw
It
13.
doesn't
Does he
make-
get to add his charisma?
Yeah. Do I?
The DC equals 10 plus the spell's level. You're adding your ability, your spellcasting ability. So you would add your charisma to
18.
this. Okay? It's not going to do it.
Okay.
Oh.
She looks at you and she says, "What have you done?" As the crown breaks, a portal appears in the space. She curses loudly and says, "It's not," and runs full on dead sprint through this portal, which is floating above the king's body. She makes a she makes a mad dash for this space. Give me a dexterity check.
Can I get a spell off before she does?
Okay. I will say that this is the last thing that can be done, as we have had a spell. On her turn, she's using her movement to go running through.
Okay.
We've had a spell done. We've had an attempted reaction to grab. No, it didn't go off.
Well, it's a 14 plus my dex, that's 18. But
Okay, she goes tearing off towards this portal, managing to shove you off to the side, and as she does, she jumps through it. The magic of the castle shaking it to its very core as you see the jewels around the crown of the king shattering and exploding. And you realize for a second that it's happening. The ascension, it's early. You broke it. You stopped it before it had all of the components necessary. But whatever it is you've been waiting for, the right time, the right place, it's not there anymore. You broke it. But she's still doing it. She jumps through the portal. full on, head first.
Balls.
The
And I
portal's still
tear.
there.
The portal is still there.
I'm
You
tearing
have
through the damn
6
portal.
seconds.
Go in. Yeah,
1,
go on.
2,
We're going
3,
in.
4, 5, 6. As the ascension occurs, and you jump through this portal, jumping through with some sort of spell that channels all of the energy of the gods and itself, that promises deityhood, that promises you the power to be a god. And in your minds, you cannot fathom what sort of spell could be cast, what sort of material components could come together to allow someone to be unto a god. And you don't think. You don't stop. You go for your God. You go for answers. You go for your people. You go because that's what you were made to do. And you go because there's no other choice. All of you jump through this portal and find yourselves in the most unlikely of places. In the place that this journey started. In a beautiful forest, surrounded by trees. You're standing. The air is crisp. It's a beautiful morning. As a small girl, but clad in blue and white, crawls out from beneath a tree, off in the distance, some ways away from you, and seems to be following after a white rabbit.
Is anybody else seeing this?
How do you become a god? Gods are a tricky thing. Gods are made from belief. Gods are made from the same story being told over and over again. The Mad Hatter has been betrayed in countless situations, in countless stories, in countless movies, in countless books, and enough belief in something makes it real. Enough belief in the Cheshire Cat makes it real. So how do you become a god? It's easy.
People believe in you.
You just need people to believe in you. You just have to rewrite the story. As Alice chases after the white rabbit and you realize that you are at the start of the story. The pages have flipped. You are no longer 100 or even hundreds of years past the beginnings of the story. How do you become a god? You change the story. A small girl chases a white rabbit and you are at the start of the storybook.
I look like Dinah.
That is where we're going to stop. As all of you have found yourselves hundreds upon hundreds of years in the past, at the start of Wonderland.
That's heavy, Doc.
That's where we're going to end tonight's session. The ceremony has been completed. The ascension has been made. The story is being worked on being changed to change the outcomes of who you know in this world to be the gods of Wonderland. When we pick up after Thanksgiving, we will see how the story changes. And if you are able to make sure it doesn't. Or change what you so choose. Thank you all so much for tuning in. With some amazing rolls tonight and the last words being spoken. Oh my God, I'm Dinah. The heroes jump through the portal as they are always wont to do, and I can count on them to do the right thing.
Yeah.
So we are going to be missing Chris for next session, as he made sure to stay behind to make sure that the portal stayed open for the last person through. And time gets a little wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. We will find out how Day has made her way into this portal as well, and joining the group in this area. And Wine in Hand will be joining us for at least, I say at least because we've all grown so fond of your shenanigans. At least one more time at the table. We're gonna need a bigger boat. So thank you all so much for staying with us. As always, I'm gonna end the stream the same way I started it, by saying thank you to each and every one of you that have told friends, that have shared this stream and have subscribed and have. Thank you, Wolf Garin, for buying your answer to a question that you have, and I look forward to your question. So, that being said, this was episode 41. The number 42 has a very special place in my heart. So, Austin caught on to it. 41, I called The Answer. So, episode 42 will be the question. We've gone back. From the answer to the question. So I'm really looking forward to it. We'll see you guys next week. Indigo Connect. And hey, really importantly, do you wonder? Stay tuned. We're going to go raid a channel really quick. Thank you guys so much. I love you all. So ridiculously clever. That's going to be my yearbook superlative.